In the long history of architecture, buildings that rise to meet the challenges of the time are recognized and remembered. This is undeniably the case of the Jacob K. Javits Convention Center. The revolutionary space frame designed by IMP Partners embodied a bold, forward-looking vision. The innovative building immediately became an iconic fixture in the skyline of New York City, and a much-anticipated stop for some of the biggest events in the country.
With the bright light of a brisk spring day pouring through the glass, the building, airy and in many ways majestic, seemed to handle its first crowds effortlessly, its huge expanses and cathedral-height ceilings giving thousands of visitors the appearance of a few hundred.
Of course, the success of the Javits Center is not only due to the building. It's the people who work there that make it a world-class convention center. Since its opening day, the Javits Center has been a beacon of opportunity for workers from all over the metropolitan area.
I was a little nervous, of course. It's your first day, and I come into this big building. I'm like, how am I going to remember everything here? You know, I'm going to get lost.
Yo me perdí. El primer día, yo me perdí. Yo entré por un sitio y no sabía por dónde salir. Yo trabajo desde agosto del 1988.
The Javits Center is not only vast in size, but in its immense economic performance. Recent data reveals that its financial impact on the city exceeds $2.5 billion in a single year and fills 400,000 hotel rooms. This has created an economic ripple effect throughout the city. It's also played a key role in the transformation of its immediate West Side neighborhood, from a deserted stretch in the 1980s to one of vibrancy. The Hudson Yards is now a center of world-class shopping, dining, and residences.
Cuando yo empecé aquí, era bien solitario.
There was no place to eat. The only closest place was on 10th Avenue, which was McDonald's, which is no longer around.
The community has changed with all the new buildings and all the new construction going on, and it's a nicer neighborhood, nicer environment, it's cleaner. More places to eat, more places to go after work, have a drink with friends.
We have the Hudson Yards. We have the High Line, which is so beautiful to go and just have lunch and walk around.
The magnitude of the change in the neighborhood can only be appreciated by going back in time. When this bold vision was first proposed, New York was in decline.
The architect's inspiration here was less the competing convention centers of other cities than it was the great crystal palaces of the 19th century.
The idea of a new convention center was a massive bet on New York's historic ability to remake itself. In fact, the Javits Center was the single largest economic project in the city's history. Named after the distinguished New York Senator Jacob K. Javits, by the time it opened in 1986, the go-go 80s were in full swing. The Javits Center found itself perfectly placed to contribute to and benefit from New York's rebirth. It quickly became an international hub of business.
We have international pavilions from Hong Kong and from China.
It hosted events that heralded the computer and internet revolutions and some of the most culturally iconic events in the world.
One of my favorite events is the auto show.
Comic-Con is always fun, the costumes, the people, it's a good crowd.
You see people dressed in costumes and having fun.
You see all the characters from The Walking Dead, you see Chucky, you see the cartoon characters that I grew up on.
Ese evento yo lo vivo, yo trabajo pero lo disfruto.
Something about it's just the energy, I love it.
With over 200 events a year, a facility of this size can only function with the dedicated work of thousands of employees. Multiple departments need to operate in tandem on a daily basis. Engineers, electricians, plumbers, painters, freight handlers, carpenters, security, maintenance, janitors, and administrators all play their part in providing a great experience to visitors.
I'm a New York State Public Safety Officer. I have worked at the Javits Center for 15 years this December.
Well, I've been here 15 years, 15 dedicated years, and I'm a union carpenter here at the Javits Center.
20 years ago. Remember my first day.
My title is Manager of the Command Center. I've worked at the Javits Center for 20 years.
I've been at the Javits Center 25 years.
The passion and commitment they bring can be seen in the fact that so many employees have stayed with the organization so long.
People want to stay here because you get to grow with other people, and it's almost like extended family. Some of us spend more time with our coworkers than we do with our own families. It's a big sense of community here. It's a caring place to be, I guess you could say. If I could describe the Javits in one word,
Wow, you put me on the spot with that one, but it's definitely magical.
It's an adventure.
dedication. There's a lot of people that come here every day and they give it their all and they put their all into this place. And hard work pays off.
I would say progressive. I like the diversity here at the Javits Center. You know, it's representative of, you know, what America is about.
The diversity makes it a microcosm of New York City itself. And the resolve of New York's people and institutions is never more evident than in a time of crisis. As it did following 9/11, the Javits Center became a critical resource for the city by providing space for hospital beds, and then again during the pandemic for administering vaccines.
We had the National Guard here. We fed them. We made sure they had water. The tents were just people laid down, and you got to see the people that didn't know what their future might hold. It was a weird time, and we stuck together. And I definitely take pride in building the hospitals at the Javits Center during that time.
New York City is ever evolving, and the Javits Center and its employees have kept pace. From dealing with a notoriously leaking roof, to the effects of Hurricane Sandy, to simply maneuvering the daily construction of a changing neighborhood, employees took it all in stride. In an effort to ever improve the visitor experience, the Javits Center has continued to transform itself in the new millennium. In 2009, a major renovation began that dramatically transformed the public spaces. The dark glass sheathing of the building was replaced with frighted panels that allow light in, but which also contain opaque dots to prevent bird collisions. The Tuscan red floors were replaced with light gray terrazzo, which combined with the frighted panels, dramatically brightened the interior. A 6.75-acre green roof was added, which became home for 65 bird species, 5 bat species, and nearly 1 million honeybees. A new Hudson Yards subway station was constructed as part of the extension of the 7 subway line. Soon after, in 2016, a major expansion was announced. A new glass building provided an additional 1.2 million square feet, which included another 90,000 square feet of exhibition space and a sustainable working farm on the roof.
Javits wants to impact the neighborhood as well as New York State as a whole.
I already know that we started the green roof when we had that. When they said we're going to build here and they're going to have a whole farm here, I said, oh, that's awesome.
The food that they grow here, they cook it down in the cafeteria. It's healthier.
I think that's definitely something that benefits everybody. If you're going to take up a certain amount of space in a certain neighborhood, why not give back to the neighborhood? And now we have the farm outside with the bees.
Yo le he probado la miel y es verdad, sabe diferente porque es de cosa orgánica.
It's like an oasis.
The evolution of the Javits Center from the initial vision and the economic doldrums of the 1970s to the gleaming Crystal Palace of commerce of today is nothing short of breathtaking. It is a true New York success story, intimately tied to the vibrant people of a city that many consider the world's capital.
This space is amazing.
Sounds corny, but we're a family. This is our second home.
Este es un edificio que tú te sientes bien trabajando. Yo amo mi trabajo.
One thing I love about being here is not every single day is the same.
People with different temperaments, different personalities. That's always enjoyable because you don't know what to expect. It's not something that becomes rudimentary, routine.
We're a big family here.
The Javits Center remains committed to the modern vision of its origins. This New York icon will continue to evolve to meet the challenge hand in hand with the employees that helped make it a success.